Hi, it's Sandy Parker and welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. Today we're going to figure out a repurpose for extra diamonds that you get from diamond paintings or something you get when you have that nail art. I hope you'll stay tuned. So I bought this little coin purse on eBay and I thought it'd be really fun to decorate it. Now a lot of you don't diamond paint, and that's perfectly fine, but you might have nail art, and nail art looks like this. It comes in these little containers that have a whole bunch of different sizes. It goes from big all the way down to tiny, or it could be in a box like this where it's just a bunch of random colors, and you can do whatever, you can do the same thing I'm doing but with a different product. I'm using leftover diamond art jewels, and I'm showing you how to make them work for you if you want the color to be different. Because when I started this, these blue ones were this color. They were like a clear but opalescent look. And then my green ones, I'm missing one. My green ones were a light green, this light green, and I made them into this dark green color. And then I'm going to use these two little pearls for the centers. I'm going to make flowers. And I'll show you how I did my dyeing, we'll call it. It's messy. Of course, I made a big mess. What else is new? And here's what I did. I just took alcohol markers. Must be alcohol markers because they won't, you won't, once they dry, they shouldn't rub off onto your project or onto your bag or, you know, the rest, whatever you've got going on. And then I just kind of went around the outside with this other color. And then I took this little tool to pick it up with. You could pick it up with your fingers, but it was easier to get a hold of it. Oh, almost used the wrong color. I want this one for these. And then I just laid it on its face, and this is the messy part. Then I stuck my fingers and I rubbed it in the ink. And then you'll just flip it over, and that's how you get your color. And I did 2 coats with each one. The blue, I just used a darker blue marker. Same thing. I took this one's the one that's shaped like a teardrop. And you have to make sure you coat the whole thing. I tried doing it just strictly marker to it. That worked, but I seem to get more on my hands this way. I don't know why. So you can do it either way, where you paint on a piece of plastic that you can throw out. This is just an old baggie that has a rip in the bottom. You can do it just like that. The green one, again, you can go over it with more color. I like to wait in between layers for to make sure that the first layer dries before I add more ink. It doesn't, you know, it takes a few seconds for it to dry, but I like to make sure it's really dry before I go on to a second color. So that's basically how I colored mine to get them to be the color I wanted. And my plan is to make what appears to be flowers on it. To clean your hands, and of course this is the most important part, I take my baby bibs that I always keep on the arm of my chair, and I take a little bit of hand sanitizer and I put it on my hands like that, and rub my fingers together, and this takes most of it off. The problem I have is getting it out from under my fingernails, and you can imagine that's not the easiest thing to do, but I mean that's a trick that I can do later with some lava soap or something to get that off. But you don't want to have any of this ink on your hands that could transfer onto your project. So make sure you clean your hands off really well before you start going on to plan B, which would be putting our flowers onto our purse. So we have this little purse that I got on eBay, and I put a plastic bag inside just to make sure that the glue doesn't seep through to both sides and make it so it's glued shut, basically. I'm going to use this Aleene's Super Fabric Adhesive. See how that works. I have this little glass plate. I think I'm just going to squeeze a dollop onto the plate. Like that. This fabric glue, if you've never used it, is a lot, it's a lot like hot glue in that it's very, very thick and sticky. But the one thing that I will tell you is scary is it's really super smelly. And I don't have my windows open because it's not warm enough here. And so I might end up getting a little bit crazy after a while. Also, if I didn't mention, I also have these little pearls that I'm going to use for the centers of my flowers. And I'm going to use this paintbrush that I got from Walmart. The brush was much longer, and I just cut it down to make it more of a, more like a, I don't know, a dauber, we'll call it. But it's little so that I could kind of manage the gluing process. I just want to put enough glue on the back. Make sure I don't have a ton of glue on the front. And then I need to put it in place where I want it. I think I'm going to put it right there. Use the back to move it around a little bit. Push it down. And then you're going to want to use a tool. I'm going to use those tweezers to get any glue that seeps out. You want to get that out of there, and you want to push down on your bead. And then we'll go on to the next one. I could put the glue on the bag, but if I do that and the bead doesn't end up being in that exact spot, then you're going to have glue seeped out all over the place. So I thought it would be easier if I did it this way. No, it's not easy no matter what way you do it, because this glue is very, very sticky. But we're going to give it a try and see if we can make this work. I'm going to add a little bit more marker to the top of some of these, because by touching it so much, I think I made them look a little blotchy. Now, if you want to add just some different, we'll say, accessory pieces. I'm going to have to let it sit for a little while. We'll see how it comes out. I decided I wanted to add stems to my flowers. I know that sounds crazy, but I have these little wee glued together. They're called Bling It. They're little adhesive diamond type things. And I was just going to say, you don't need to have the diamond painting things. You could use these pearls that you get at the Dollar Tree. You can use, if you, I don't know if you've ever seen anyone do this, but I made some diamonds out of hot glue. All you need to do is you take your hot glue and you put it on parchment paper or the backing for sticker paper, and you just make a little dot of glue, and I'll link a video here where I show how I do it, and then I just colored it. You could use those and glue those on this. It, you know, would work just the same. So you don't need to have any really specialized tools. You could use resin pieces. You could use buttons. It's all up to you. It's all about thinking through how you would do it instead of how I just did it. Okay, so we're going to take our fabric glue again, and this time I'm using a little micro brush. You buy these on any of the online, like eBay, AliExpress, any of those places. They're very inexpensive, but they're really great for things like this. And I'm just going to draw a stem with glue. Hopefully you can see my stem I'm drawing. Okay, then I'm going to take one of my pieces of bling. And this does have adhesive on it, but I don't think it's going to be good enough to hold up over time. And then I'm going to lay it in the glue like that. I didn't really want it to be that straight, so I'm going to kind of mess with it and make it a little bit curvier. Make it so it's not a direct straight line. I like the idea of having it be kind of like it's in the wind. And then get more glue on our little micro brush. Yes, that is one of my crazy dogs. They can never, I think they have, like, they want to be a star or something, and they feel like they're not getting their screen time. So that's why every time I'm on video, they bark. I'm just thinking it. I don't know if that's true, but, you know. Being that I'm a stage mother. I don't know if I've ever shown you Honey's one and only trick that she knows how to do, but during the time of Corona is the perfect time to see Honey's really stupid trick. And so I think I will do a very, very short video where I show that, because I think it'll give you guys something to make you laugh about, because it's so stupid. But I'm not going to tell you about it, because that just seems wrong to, you know, to show you or to talk about it and tell you what it is, because if I tell you what it is, then you'll go, well, why do I need to see it now? I already know what it is. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a few little areas, hopefully I can get this to stick down, and I'm going to put more of these beads between this flower, the petals. I couldn't think of the word petals. Sheepers creepers. I think I'm going to do three diamonds in each. We'll try 3 first and see if we like it. Maybe we'll go for 4. I think I'm going to do just a little bit around the outside of this little bead. I'll put some glue there, and then I think I'm going to attach more of these. We'll see if I can get it to work. Hot glue, I think, would work just as well as this fabric glue. Just saying. most of this glue will, like the excess that's on the material, will, once it's dry, it'll just kind of scrape off when you're done with it. So you don't have to worry about that, you know, about if you have glue where you don't need it. But I do have certain spots on this where for some reason, nothing wants to stick. So those are the spots you got to put a little more effort into. I'm going to put a little bit more glue right there. And this time I'm going to use my little, I know, you're going to say to yourself, why didn't you think of that before, Sandy? I don't know. Should have, but didn't. I just wanted to show you something you could do with leftover beads, and if you have a little change purse that you want to play with, or if you want a project during this time when we're all stuck inside that you can do with your kids, I think this one would be something that you could do that would be kind of fun and entertaining, and you'd have a keepsake afterwards if you wanted to use it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this, that you give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Please tell your friends about me on social media because you know I love that. And thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.